The criminal, Doc Ock, has metal legs attached to his spine. I went right home and put my coffee table in a timeout. The Passion of the Christ. Why was everyone speaking Elvish? You know, if Monica Bellucci had really been in Jerusalem, the disciples never would have left to spread the word. Yeah. This is the first time Satan has ever been depicted after a full body wax. You know, these Harry Potter kids are really getting old. Aegio stapo pubertato. Coming next, Harry Potter and the Corvette of Midlife Crisis. If these kids are wizards, how come they never construct a volcano experiment? The day after tomorrow, it's a towering inferno of mediocrity. This movie is what happens when you write a screenplay with one hand tied behind your back and the other one typing out dialogue on a speaking spell. A wall of water washes down Broadway. Now we're going to find out if cats can really swim. Well, since we can't drink the water anyway, we might as well flee to Mexico. I don't know where Matt Damon is running to, but wherever it is, it's a place no man has shaved for 5 days. So Jason Bourne is running along a beach in India, a place where 24-hour fitness means 24 hours away by plane. You swim in the me? You swim in the me? A robot may not injure a human being or allow a human being to come to harm, unless he's Regis Philbin. Bridget Moynihan and James Cromwell are a couple in this movie, and between their birthdays, more than a few woolly mammoths cried, "Help, I'm locked in ice!" It's a future where robots are doing all the jobs that used to go to starving actors and illegal immigrants. You know, thanks to iRobot, I've now placed my laptop under 24-hour surveillance. They say Helen of Troy is the world's most beautiful woman, but then Brad Pitt appears in a dress and all bets are off. It's Queer Eye for the warmongering guy. Orlando Bloom is in love with only one thing besides his own reflection, and that's his own reflection in Helen of Troy's eyes. There's Peter O'Toole with a face that downed 1,000 pints. Hey, Brad, somebody's Trojan horse needs to be put in a stable every now and then, okay? No medicinal marijuana was harmed during the making of this movie, but boy, you sure wouldn't know it from watching it. You know, I've always said that the founding of our nation would have been better box office if it had included a treasure. And see? Amazingly, Nicolas Cage can solve the puzzle of National Treasure, even though he failed to solve the much more obvious puzzles of Patricia Arquette and Lisa Marie Presley. Benjamin Franklin reportedly said, "If I had known they'd use it to produce a movie like this, I never would have discovered electricity." Thomas Jefferson said that if he had seen this movie while he was writing the Declaration of Independence, the only thing he would have traced on its back would be his resume. Catwoman is the movie that convinced me I'm a dog person. Catwoman is a drinking game of cinematic proportions. Halle Berry should be grateful the Oscar doesn't have an Indian giver branch. How is Catwoman supposed to stop the bad guys? She's supposed to titillate them into surrender? Help! Help! Stop! You're too sexy! I can't stand it! Do we need movies about the president's daughter finding romance when the president's wife can't find it? There's a short list of movies you never wanted to be followed by Roman numerals, and Dirty Dancing is very near the top. In Jersey Girl, Jennifer Lopez dies within the first 15 minutes, proving that art does not imitate life. Sky Captain returns us to 1939, a year when aromatherapy meant the smell of Vitalis and Barbasol. Angelina Jolie is chief of a mysterious floating airship camouflaged by an enormous Union Jack. Obviously, the gigantic bullseye must have been at the cleaners. Given a choice between Sky Captain and Captain Crunch, I'll go for the one commanding the squadron of Crunchberries. Queen Latifah is a bike messenger. She's a bike messenger, okay? I mean, plausibility has been stabbed in the heart right there. Gisele Bündchen is a super criminal, and I always say never trust a perp in a belly tea. Extracting dialogue from Gisele is like pulling very pretty teeth. Taxi is a movie about a bank robbery. What is this, 1939? Which members of Gisele's crew are named Clyde? Keep this up, Jimmy Fallon, and you'll be hosting Court TV promos and cutting the ribbon at the new Walmart. Van Helsing promises gothic horror, and ooh, a horror it is. Hugh Jackman, where else are you going to find a vampire slayer who knows all the words to I Go to Rio? Who knew you could assemble a Frankenstein monster from script cliches? Dracula wears an earring and a ponytail. He's like an undead Tony Little. Kate Beckinsale is the Donatella Versace of horror. Nothing is faster, she says, than Transylvanian horses, except for Transylvanian hooter girls. Dracula may be undead, but Van Helsing is ungood.